You pick up your phone to check one notification. 20 minutes later, you're still scrolling. You don't remember deciding to stay. Nobody does. But the real answer is far stranger than weak willpower. Your brain isn't broken. It's being played by a system built on 100,000 years of survival instinct, aimed at a screen that never existed in nature. Think about your ancestors. Every day, they scanned the grass for movement. A rustle could be food. It could also be a predator. Their brains rewarded that scanning with a tiny hit of dopamine every time something new appeared. Not when they found the thing, just when they looked. That single habit kept them alive long enough to pass it on to you. Neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz discovered something strange about this reward system decades ago. Dopamine doesn't spike when you get the reward. It spikes when the reward is uncertain. A guaranteed treat barely moves the needle. A maybe does. Your brain is wired to chase maybes, not certainties. Now hold that thought, because someone else knew it too. In the early 2000s, a small group of designers in Silicon Valley studied exactly this. One of them, B.J. Fogg, ran a lab at Stanford focused on what he called persuasive technology. His students didn't build slot machines, they built apps, but they used the same math. Every scroll became a pull on a lever. Every new post became a maybe. You weren't checking your phone. You were gambling with your attention, one swipe at a time. Here's the part that should unsettle you. Slot machines are regulated. Casinos post warnings. Feeds don't. Anthropologist Natasha Schüll spent years inside actual casinos studying machine gamblers for her research on addictive design. She found something she called the zone. Players didn't play to win. They played to stay in a trance-like state where nothing else existed. No bills, no arguments, no thoughts about tomorrow. Just the next pull. Sound familiar? Your feed does the same thing on purpose. The infinite scroll removes the stopping point your ancestors always had. A hunter finished scanning the horizon when the horizon ended. A gatherer stopped when the basket was full. There was always an edge. Your phone has no edge. The app was designed that way. Someone in a meeting decided the page should never end, because an ending is a chance for you to leave. So what happens to a brain built for edges, dropped into a world with none? It keeps pulling the lever. It keeps chasing maybes. And it starts mistaking motion for meaning. You feel busy. You feel informed. You feel connected. But ask yourself what you actually remember from the last hour of scrolling. Usually, almost nothing. That's not an accident either. Novelty without depth doesn't get stored the way real memories do. Your brain skims. It doesn't sit with anything long enough to keep it. This is where it gets almost sad. Your ancestors' scanning instinct was built for a world with real stakes. A missed signal could mean a missed meal or a missed danger. Every scan mattered. Now the same instinct fires for a stranger's vacation photo. The wiring hasn't changed. The stakes have collapsed to nothing, and your brain hasn't gotten the memo. Does that mean you're powerless? Not exactly. Once you know the mechanism, you can see the lever for what it is. Schultz's research shows the dopamine spike fades the moment uncertainty disappears. That's why muting notifications works better than willpower. Remove the maybe, and the pull weakens on its own. Schultz's casino research found something similar. Players who set a hard limit before they sat down stayed more in control than players who tried to decide in the moment. The trick isn't fighting the urge mid-scroll. It's building the edge back in before you start. Your ancestors didn't have more discipline than you. They just lived in a world that came with natural stopping points built in. You're living in the first version of human life that had to build its own. So tonight, when you pick up your phone to check one notification, remember what you're actually doing. You're not checking a message. You're scanning the grass for movement, the same way your ancestors did, for a predator that was never really there. The switch hasn't changed in 100,000 years. only the grass has.